Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Rhodes Scholar Trent Smith, good afternoon. Folks, I'm Jeffrey Guterman, and we are starting August 29 on the schedule. Cubs now on a road trip after a homestand. There are 7 games behind the first place Pirates. They've made ground. St. Louis has made ground there. The Cubs are in third. St. Louis 4.5. We have a little time before our game here. Let's take a quick look at our standings as we start. They are posted on our community board. As you can see, Cubs are in third place. They're 7 behind. Pirates have lost 5 in a row. The Cards have won 8 in a row. And that has translated to a 4.5 gap where the Cards were way behind. Even the Mets 11.5 out. In the West, Atlanta has a 2-game lead. They were tied with the Giants, but Giants have lost 2. Braves won 3 in a row, and the East, of course, is pretty much decided. Let's look at our opening lineups for the Chicago Cubs. The starting is Bill Hands. He comes in with 18 wins. He failed to get his 19th in his last start. He'll try again today. It's Don Kessinger at shortstop. And Kathy Harden has arrived. We're both for the Cubs, finally. Maybe there was one time we were both for the Cubs. Batting second, Glenn Beckert at second base. Billy Williams bats third. He's in left. I'm hoping for a nice leisurely ball game here. Sorry if that St. Louis game seemed a little rushed. Ron Santo, the captain, cleanup at third. Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks at first base, batting 5th. Jim Hickman batting 6th in right. Randy Hundley catching, batting 7th. Oscar Gamble with a rare start. He started this game in real world, batting 8th in center field. And the pitcher, Bill Hands, a right-hander, a great pitcher. For the first place Braves, it's going to be Pat Jarvis pitching. He's 111. It'll be Felix Millan leading off at second base. Tony Gonzalez batting second in center. Hank Aaron in right field batting third. The cleanup hitter is Rico Carty in left field. Orlando Cepeda batting 5th at first. Cleet Boyer batting 6th at third. Bob Didier behind the plate, batting 7th. Gil Garrido at shortstop, batting 8th. And the pitcher, Pat Jarvis, another right-hander, batting 9th. And in a few minutes, since we have some people in, I know it's a terrible thing for me to do, a terrible habit to start early. But let me take my medicine. It's that hour. Oh. And we'll be ready to start any moment now. A nice leisurely ball game. Indeed it is. Markets have been up for the past 3 days here in the U.S. See how long that lasts. See if people start taking profits again. It's like breathing to some people. And the Atlanta Braves take the field. We're in Atlanta, at Atlanta Stadium. Pat Jarvis on the mound. Catching him is Didier. In the infield, Cepeda at first, Felix at second, Cletus at third, Garrido at short, outfield left to right, Rico, Gonzalez, and Henry Aaron. And leading it off here today is Don Kessinger, switch hitter, batting left. Jarvis is ready. And the umpire says play ball. Here's the windup by Jarvis. And the pitch, that's 6-7, left-handed, and it's a base hit by Kessinger to start it off. That's a good way to start a ball game for the Cubs. A single off Jarvis. Here's Beckert now. Cubs, I spoke to Leo DeRocha before the game. He is confident that the Cubs have what it takes to make up this ground. 7 games in late August is not a lot of games. Okay, Jarvis facing Beckert from the stretch. Pitch to Beckert. And that's 3-10, right-handed. Whoa, grounds it to second. Mian steps on the bag over to Orlando for a double play. I was thinking of doing a sacrifice, but thinking is not enough. Here's Billy Williams now. 2 outs, nobody on. 3-2, lines it to second, caught by Felix. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit for the Cubs, none left. And we're heading to the bottom of the first. It's Cubs, nothing. Atlanta coming up. Man, it's awfully nice to have you all here. We're having some beautiful rainy days. Consecutive rainy days here in Fort Lauderdale. I love it. It's very cozy. Here's Felix now. Hands on the mound with 18 wins on the season. Hands winds and the pitch to Felix. 1-8. Grounds it to short. Kessinger has it. Throws to Banks. 1 down. Tony Gonzalez is the batter. I don't, Trent. I used to years ago. No, I don't go to the beach much. Maybe 2 or 3 times a year I'll go down. I'm only a mile and a quarter away. That is low for a ball to Gonzalez. We're so glad to have you all here on the Strat-O-Matic Sports Network. Okay, hands. And that's fouled back and out of play by Gonzalez. The count is 2-2. It's a beautiful late afternoon here on the East Coast. About we started early, but we're about 3:30 start in Chicago. Okay, hands. And the pitch. It's 2-3, and it's a base hit by Gonzalez. So Tony's on. Tony's been hitting lately. And here's Henry Aaron. I think it's fair to say a future Hall of Famer. Okay, hands, gets the sign from Hundley. .45 right-handed, hit well by Williams, by Aaron, deep and gone. A 2-run home run by Henry Aaron. That'll put the Braves ahead. Right off the bat, let's look at that again. 4-5 off hands. He hung one. And home run 1-9, of course he's in. And it's a 7. And that is gone as you know it. That's a woke up the crowd here. For Henry, that's number 29. He's a little light on the home run category this season. I think he hit 47. 44. So it's a 2-0 ball game. Hands let one get away from him. And the batter will be Rico with 1 out, nobody on. And the pitch from hands, 2-4, grounds it to third for Santo. 2 away. And here comes Orlando. All right, hands is ready. Here's the pitch. 5-5, and he grounds it to short Kessinger, to Banks, and the side is retired. But there were 2 runs, and the Cub fans love it, on a 2-run home run by, the Brave fans love it, by Henry Aaron. And it's 2-0 after 1. Braves over the Cubs here. Jarvis taking his warm-ups. Yesterday, back to our games of August 28th, the Cubs hosted the Reds, and they won it 8-2. Jenkins went all the way. Home runs by Hickman, and Hundley hit 2. And the Cubs ended up winning 3 of 4 against the Reds in their series. The captain, Ron Santo, leads it off for the Cubs. Okay, Jarvis is ready. Here's the pitch. 4-10, and he pops him up to short, Garrido. One away here in the Cubs' top of the second. The batter is Ernie Banks. Absolutely, Trent. It depends who catches it. You know, one guy would think it's a valuable item. Here's the pitch to another future Hall of Famer, I think it's fair to say, Ernie Banks, and he chops it to second. That's going to be for Felix. And he's a oh shit, I didn't get his E rating. Jesus. It happens. Felix is a 117. That's a G1. 17 now. That's 9, 10, 11. Uh-oh, he boots it. He could not get that, and he booted it. It's as simple as that. A G1, E1. An error by Banks. Very realistic. An error, I'm so sorry. An error by Felix. And Banks is on. It can happen. Even the great fielders. Sometimes they get to shit no one else would, and then they're charged with an error. Sometimes. Here's Jim Hickman now. Hickman hit a home run in yesterday's game. Here's the pitch, 1-8. He struck him out. Look at those strikeouts. That's 2 down. And Hundley hit 2 home runs. If I'm correct, as I remember. My memory's a little faulty. I just mentioned that. Jarvis from the stretch. 2-6, right-handed, popped him up to second for Felix. And the side is retired. It's no runs, no hits, the error left on. Middle of the second, still a 2-0 ball game. Braves here in Atlanta, first of a 3-game series. And the Braves, they've won 3 in a row, so they were tied with the Giants, and the Giants lost a couple games. Good news, everybody. Rod Carew is eligible to play on September 2 after a deep fracture of his wrist. He's been out. He's already limbering up, and we're sure glad to hear that Rodney will be back in the lineup very shortly. Here's Hands now. Hands allowed the 2-run home run to Henry in the first. And Cletus Boyer steps up to the batter's box. He walks in and he's facing Hands now. Here's Hands. That's 5-10 right-handed, and he struck him out, and that's the first for Bill. Now here's Bob Didier. Hands, the wind-up, and the pitch. That is 5-4, switch hitter batting left, grounds to third X. That's going to be Santo, a 128. That's a G1 28. G1 28. 915 G1. 915 28. And he's booting it. Oh, he boot that. It's a G1 E1. And that's going to put Didier on base. And we're getting errors from the great ones. The great fielders are making errors. That one is the first error for the Cubs, actually. I put the first one in the wrong spot. And Didier's on first with one out. Here's Gil Garrido. Man, we're so glad to have you with us. Love to hear from you in the live text. All right, hands from the stretch. And that's 2-3 right-handed, and he pops it up. Just foul of third base. Santo makes the catch. 2 away. Here's Pat Jarvis, the pitcher. A 1 WR. Okay, hands now. And that's 2-9, and he grounds it to first for Ernie, and Hands is covering. And he takes it to end the inning. No runs, no hits, an error, just like Chicago, a 1-out error left on base. We've gone 2 here in Atlanta. And it's a 2-0 ball game. Here's Pat Jarvis now. Leading it off here in the third for the Cubs, Oscar Gamble. Leo has taken a gamble tonight. Left-handed hitter. That card is underwhelming. Here's the pitch to Gamble. That is 5-3 against the right-hander. Hits it to short. No X, no nothing. And Garrido throws him out. 1 away. Now Bill Hands. Bill, a 1 WR. Going for win number 19 tonight. Okay, Jarvis looking in. And that's 2-7, struck him out. Number 2 for Jarvis. And here's Kessinger, top of the order. Kessinger, switch hitter, batting left against Jarvis. Oh, that's a swing and strike. Looked like Kessinger was trying to hit a good one there. But he missed it. So 2 outs, and it's a full count here on Don Kessinger. Jarvis, the windup, and the payoff pitch. 4-8, left-handed hitter, a fly ball, a sky-high fly. To center field, Gonzalez makes the catch, and we have to wait on that one a bit. It's a 1-2-3 for Pat Jarvis. It's getting to that time, folks. Pennant fever is hitting a lot of clubs here. You got, of course, the Pirates, who had at one point had like a 7 or a 7.5 game lead. It's down to 4.5 by St. Louis. St. Louis has the fever. The Cubs have the fever. Like, the Cubs only 7 behind. Even the Mets are getting a little bit feverish. That's in the East. Leading it off is going to be Felix here for the Braves. In the West, of course, the Braves have a 2-game lead. The Giants have had the fever all year long. Cincinnati and Houston take up the 3rd and 4th spots respectively, and LA has had a tough season, even though they're coming back a bit recently. And then San Diego takes up the tail end. And that is line foul right at a fan who missed it, and then it bounced. Boy, those balls really go hard. It bounced off railing, and then it was a free-for-all. Okay, hands now. And the pitch to Mian. That is for 3 right-handed. And there's a base hit to right. That time he got it right where he wanted. Safe. And Mian is on. He's a B 1-10. Hundley 1-7. We won't hold him. And we won't steal. It's an occasional managerial decision. Otherwise, we hold Bs and up as a rule of thumb. Here's Gonzalez now. He's going to lay it down. Here's the pitch to Gonzalez. The infield stays back. It's a 6. It's a beauty by Gonzalez at an A. I'm sorry. Oh shit, I went D. I was looking at Mian. I'm gonna have to take it. Yeah, it's too late now, but it's good. Okay, shit. So it's 1 out and Felix is in scoring position. It's already 2-0 Braves. And here comes Henry now. Very walkable guy. But with Cardi on deck, what's the point? I say, Bill, pitch him low and inside to start off. Henry Aaron. From the stretch with Mian on second, 1 out. Here's the pitch. That's his 5'10" right-handed, and he struck him out. So hands getting tough here. And it's going to be a clutch situation for Rico, who grounded to third in the first. 2 outs, Felix on second. And that's a called strike on Rico. They've turned on the lights here in Atlanta. Here's hands. That's 6'11" right-handed. That's going to be a fly to right X. We wonder if this is going to be any trouble. That's going to be Hickman, a 3-5. With me on in scoring position and 2 outs. Hickman going back. A 3-5. That's a 1-3. That's a double 3. Hickman. He's a 5. That's going to be 8-9. No, it's just going to be a double off the frickin' wall. Felix comes home. It's 3-0. Rico with a clutch double there. after Mian was moved to second on the sacrifice by Gonzalez. This is Sleep Ambient Baseball. The live, or if you're listening on demand after the fact, broadcasts from our Strat-O-Matic 1969 replay. That's baseball. We do the 72 football. We have a couple replays that are currently on pause. 1911 baseball, 1964 baseball. Here's Orlando now with 2 outs. If you're just joining us, 3-0 Braves over the Cubs in a first of a 3-game series here in Atlanta on a beautiful night. That's hit deep by Orlando, but pulling foul. Oh, just foul. Oh boy, did he wallop that. Whoa. Okay. 2 outs now. The pitch to Cepeda. That's 1-9, and he chops it to second. Beckert to Banks, and the side is out, but there was a run on 2 hits and 1 left on after 3. It's a 3-0 ball game. And we'll take a little break here for about 3 minutes, give or take. I'm Jeffrey Guterman, and this is the Strat-O-Matic Sports Network. Oh, indeed it is. Indeed it frickin' is. Oh, yeah. Much as ever. Indeed. This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network with Jeffrey Guterman, and we're taking a little break after 3 innings. It's 3-0 Atlanta over the Chicago Cubs in Atlanta, and we're glad that you have decided to join us. By all means, pull up a chair, make yourself comfortable, pull out a Rheingold extra dry beer, in a frosted, ice-cold glass. Smoke cannabis if that's what you prefer. You're probably better off with that. Or take nothing. I don't recommend drugs to anybody but myself. I am not a physician. But just in case you're opening up a Rheingold, it's extra dry, the way a beer should be. It's got a big head. And it lasts a long time. You know, I think I got a little something left in this pipe right here. We need good pitching from Bill Hands, Kathy Harden. Well, here's Pat Jarvis now. He's handled the Cubs rather nicely today. No runs, one hit. Good afternoon, Rick. All is well as can be. Yeah, I'm doing okay tonight. How about you? Okay, Jarvis is ready. Timely hitting indeed is needed. We stay calm, play our game. Oh, I'm so sorry, that's an error. That is, here's the Cubs. It's going to be Beckert, Williams, and Santo, the heart of the order, followed by Banks and Hickman and Hundley, all fine hitters. This is as good a time as ever to start to get something going. Here's Jarvis now. And that's 3-4 right-handed, and he flies it to right for Aaron, who makes the catch. It's one away. Now Billy Williams. That's 1-8 for Williams, and he hits it to first, and Cepeda fields it for the second out. And here's the captain, Ron Santo. Jarvis, and the pitch. That is 110, and it's fly to right field for Aaron again. And it's another 1-2-3 for Jarvis, who's been quite good on the mound this evening. Still 3-0. Here's Bill Hands. He's gotta shut them down. Can't afford any monkey business. He didn't have a good start last time in I believe, to the best of my memory, a Cubs loss. Okay, Boyer in the batter's box. He struck out by Hands in the second. That's 5-6, and he struck him out again for the second strikeout by Hands. Now Bobby Didier. Bobby Didier. Here's Hands now. 5'11", switch hitter batting left, hits it to first. And Banks takes it himself, 2 away. And that's going to bring up Gil Garrido. So this is what we need from Hands to be able to retire people. Oh yeah, Rick, thank you. That was a lot of fun for me too, and I'm looking forward. I'm up for a solid one with Mike Terranova, who has already demonstrated high proficiency at playing through live chat here, not on the video. And he says let's each announce the first, one, you the first half, me the second, and then the other will do color. And that it makes sense if you're announcing, when Steve's announcing, he needs to roll the dice, because you can't be announcing and not rolling the dice. We both have sets, and I'm looking forward to that. It's 2 outs, nobody on, and Gil Garrido is at the plate. Here's Hands, the pitch. And that's a 1-5 right-handed. Grounds it to second for Beckert. To Banks. And he has a 1-2-3 inning. That's the kind of pitching the Cubs need. And it's going to be the middle of the lineup now. An aging Ernie, Hickman, and Randy. Randy and Grody, 2 tough sons of bitches. Really. Hundley and Grody amongst the 2 best fielding catchers in all of Major League Baseball. I mentioned Grody because he was a tough son of a bitch behind the plate. And he could hit. Wasn't a great hitter, wasn't even a good hitter. He was an average hitter, but occasionally he'd come through. Okay, here's Banks now. That's 3-6 right-handed, hit back to Jarvis, to Orlando at first, and he's retired 9 in a row. Would be a lot more if it wasn't for the error. He's retired 12 of 13 just due to an error. He's got a 1-hit shutout. Here's Hickman now. Jarvis is on tonight. 2-4, and it's a hit to second. And it's fielded by Mian to Orlando, 2 outs. For Hundley, who hit 2 home runs in last night. I believe so. 2-7 right-handed, fly ball to center for Gonzalez. And there's another 1-2-3 for Jarvis. We're heading to the bottom of the fifth. Hands on the mound. His first endurance is the 8th. Jarvis the 7th. Here's Jarvis to hit. The winner of record thus far. And the pitch. It's a 2-10. It's, as you all know, it's a walk on the 1 card. That's the only non-out on the card. 2-10. And that happens with consistency. Been a little while since I had that happen. So Jarvis on first. I haven't had any baseball ballpark effects in a long time. Here's Felix now. I think Felix is going to lay it down. Sure. Let's have Felix lay it down. There's the pitch. It's back, the infield. It's a 5A, and it's a beauty. Oh, Lord, is that pretty. It's hit back to Hands, and he throws to second. He goes to first, I'm sorry. And Jarvis is in scoring position. Now it'll be Gonzalez and then Henry. Bill Hands on the mound. Here's the pitch to Gonzalez. See, 3-3 right-handed, and that is a liner to second, caught by Beckert. 2 outs with Jarvis in scoring position, and here's Henry now. The problem is, again, Cardi, this team will beat you. Charles has arrived. Great to see you, Charles. Just to let you know, Charles, I've already done a head-to-head game with Steve Aquilong. I think it was last night. It was awesome. I have one tentatively scheduled but not dated yet with Mike Terranova. You're welcome too if you know how to do that. I give you the link on your mobile device. You're always invited. It's 2 outs. Jarvis in scoring position. From the stretch, Hands now. And the pitch to Henry. That's 5-11 right-handed, and he grounds it to short. Kessinger swipes it up, sweeps it up, and throws it to first. Well, I've sent out the invitation, Rhodes Scholar, and the side is retired. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, side is retired, so no runs. The walk left on second after the sacrifice. It's a 3-0 ball game. It's a good ball game. Christ, it's a good ball game. And Gamble is coming up. I find Hands to be, I think we're in good hands. Did he become a sheriff? Well, good for him. Some public service. And it's going to be Oscar Gamble. Due up. And Gamble is being called back to the bench. And there's going to be a pinch hitter for Oscar Gamble. It's going to be Paul Popovich, a switch hitter. He could play center. We'll see. didn't know that he played center. Well, we'll see. So here's Popovich, a very unusual and surprise pinch hitter that Leo is doing. A switch hitter batting left to lead it off for the Cubs. Here's Jarvis now. That's 5-6 left-handed. And whoa, it's a base hit. It goes through. I thought Orlando could get that, but no, it went through. So Popovich is on, and he's got adequate speed. Don Young will come in. Wait a minute. Don Young will be playing center field. He is a 3-0 arm, 9E9, so he's actually better off than anybody. And Bill Hands is due up. And Hands is an A bunter, folks. Hands, sometimes I like to show the card in this situation. Hands is an A bunter. We're going to lay it down and keep him in because he's looking good lately. Okay, here's Jarvis now. Infield in, he's a B. It's a 4, it's a beauty. He hits it back to Jarvis. He almost beat it out. And Popovich goes on to second with one away. And that's going to bring up Kessinger here. So now we have a Popovich on second with one down. Kessinger 1 for 2, singled in the first, out in a double, flew to center in the third. Jarvis now. That's 111 right-handed, pops it up behind the plate. And Didier off with the mask. He fields it, catches it two-way. And they just need a run here, we say. We hope Becker can get a nice run-scoring base hit here for Glenn. We need some clutch hitting here for Glenn with 2 down and a Popovich on first. Well, you have 9s also. They're very rare, but we have a couple of them in this league. And there's a shitload of them in the 1911 replay. I don't think they knew how much it hurts the arm to pitch. And a lot of people just threw their arms out. Joe Wood and others. If I stopped and researched it, a lot of people just lost it. I think I don't want to get into it. 5-4 Becker grounds to third X. For Boyer, 118, this should be the inning. 10-1, F2, 18. Eight, 9. And he throws him out. And the side is retired. We're in the middle of the 6th now. No runs for the Cubs again. Jarvis holding his own. His first endurance will be next inning. As we said, Don Young, I believe, yeah, goes out to play center here. And there is Bill Hands coming out. Hands coming out now. Bottom of the sixth. And this is a tough part of the order. It's Rico, Orlando, and Cletus. That's quite a trio, isn't it? Let me say that one more time. Rico, Orlando, and Cletus. So Hands is going to want to pitch very carefully to these three. Really can't afford to give up anything more now. With Jarvis having pitched 6 shutout innings. Okay, here's Rico now, stepping in. He doubled, homer run. Three, 4 right-handed, hit the third, Santo, across 2 banks. First out here in the bottom of the 6th. It's Orlando now. Orlando, a big addition to this Braves lineup. Who did they give up? They gave up, who did they freaking give up? Oh, yeah. They gave up Orlando. Okay. Here's Hands. And that's 5-4 right-handed. It's grounded to third, Santo again. 18-1. G1 again. 18 here. 11. Oh, he boots it. That's smart. It's a 1-base error. I don't even have to look on that. You can. You let me know. That's the second error by Santo today. It's tough, some tough luck there, because he's already established as one of the best in the business at the hot corner. You know that he had diabetes, and he hid it from the media, from fans. He thought, at least in the beginning of his career, because he thought that they would consider that a very serious condition. I think we have destigmatized that. Now if we can only do mental illness. Here's Cletus now. Struck out twice by Hands. No, I did not read that. Yeah, it's a great error, Charles. It's a great error. You know, I just don't. First of all, I want to get on with this 69 replay. But secondly, and I'm looking at the pennant races, not the World Series. So, you know, I just felt a little bored, disconnected from it by playing it. I don't think anything can beat my my enjoyment of 69. Okay, Cletus now with Boyer, and Boyer, I believe, is a B. Yeah, he's being held 1-7. No, he's not, and he's not going. We'll trade it off with each of them. I think the Cubs had one of those. The pitch to Boyer. That is 6-2 right-handed. Hit deep by Claytis. Back to the wall goes Williams, and he makes a one-handed catch against the wall. It was hit hard by Cletus, but Williams caught up with it, and he made it look easy. 6-2 and home run 1-13. It was a 17. It's 2 outs now, with Orlando on first, not being held. Here's Didier, not going. Didier's switch hitter, batting left. 0 for 2, reached on the first error by Ronald Santo, and grounded to first. Here's Hands. And that's a 5-11 switch hitter batting left, hits it to first. Banks takes it himself to the bag, just in time, too. And Didier doesn't have much speed. No runs, no hits, the error, 1 left. We've gone 6 here. And it's still a 3-0 ball game. I'll tell you, it's quite an enjoyable ball game. Both pitchers have really settled down here in the middle innings. But Jarvis has been almost unhittable throughout. We'll take a break for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm Jeffrey Guterman, and I have Strat-O-Matic, and I hope you do too. I'll be back in just a few minutes. This is the Strat-O-Matic Sports Network. Oh, indeed it is. I assume you've read Charles' Glory of Their Times by Lawrence Ritter, Ritter. I assume you've read that. Also, the audio of it is quite ubiquitous on YouTube. Each chapter is an interview with one of them in their own words. Of course, they may have, cleaned it up a little. I got that book about 30 years ago. But that's like 1990. It came out in like 66, 67, and he went to all the ones who were still living from the Dead Ball Ever. Oh, that's a classic, Charles. It's almost like anthropology, just straight narratives from the people themselves in their own words. I'll be back. It's a pretty damn good ball game, 3 runs, man. That's and Jarvis will start his first endurance inning. Very, very interesting. The great thing about the Dead Ball era, and even before that, which is like the beginnings of baseball, there's so much documentation of real box scores, real statistics, is biographical information, is photography. So there is I'd like to see a Ken Burns documentary just on the Dead Ball era. And even he did baseball. The first episode really was, and even partly coming into the second, there was a transition from Dead Ball to modern around, some people punctuated 1920. Not only was it after the Black Sox scandal, but it was the livelier ball. And Ruth hit more home runs than everyone in his own league. I believe that's what it was. And some players transitioned. They played in both. They overlapped. But some didn't. Like Honus didn't. I don't think he did. You know, Cobb did. He played till 28, Cobb. And he died in 61. A very wealthy person, having bought Coca-Cola stock in droves for his advertisements and promotions. I'll be back. Oh, indeed. Indeed, what a ball game. What a lovely, lovely, lovely game that we have going here. This is the kind of game that where I would love the Cubs just to steal it with 4 in the top of the 9th. Steal that goddamn game. With hands all the way. This is when you gotta love your team. I'll be back. And by the way, it's raining outside, and I like to, it's just a drizzle. It's a strong drizzle. I like to go out and do it. I like it. Feels good on my hair. Makes me feel alive. I dry off when I get back in. Like my mother used to say, you won't melt. I'm sorry, it's a little too strong out there. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. GG, yeah. Oh my goodness. Folks, it's a 3-0 ball game here for the first of a 3. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Rick. You were allowed to designate. That's an interesting anecdote. Designate one. I think Ed Walsh was one of them. By the way, Ed Walsh is a guy whose arm just went dead. Well, the story of tonight in my book is Pat Jarvis. He is what has stood in the way of the Cubs tonight. Sure, Aaron had a 2-run home run. Cardi knocked me on home. It's 3-0. And here comes Billy Williams. 0 for 2 against Jarvis tonight. Here's Jarvis. 210 right-handed, hitting the wrong column, fly to left. And Cardi has it, 1 away. Here's the captain 0 for 2. Cubs are being shut out tonight. And they're looking to, if you're into numbers, big, if they can win tonight, I would consider it a milestone. Under 7 games out. 6.5. You're currently 7 behind. Those Pirates, those not so amazing lately Pirates. Okay, Jarvis, the pitch to Santo. That's 6-7 right-handed, and that is a drive hit out into the gap, and it's going to drop in. And Santo will stroll into second with a stand-up double. So Santo gets a hold of one. 6-7 right-handed off of Jarvis, only the 3rd hit tonight. And here's Banks. Now Banks is the man. Ernie is the man here. 0 for 2, reached on an error left on. Ernie is the hero. We're talking Banks. Not one, but Banks. Jarvis from the stretch. Santo short lead off second, 1 out. Cubs down 3-0. And that's a 3-7 right-handed, and he grounds it to second. Felix has it, throws to first, and he held Williams right there. And here's Hickman, if you've been following our replays, you're following the 69 season here on the Strat-O-Matic Sports Network, you know that Hickman's had some big hits. And this is a clutch situation. Oh, yeah. Okay, here's Jarvis now. 3-7, he walked him, and one more hitter walk, and Jarvis has reached fatigue. This can get kind of hairy. Now here's Randy. This is Randy when you really need it. Randy, can you come through when you really, really frickin' need it? And there is action in the Atlanta bullpen. Doyle. Oh, I'm sorry. Doyle, the left-hander, is warming. And they're pulling out all the stops tonight, even though he pitched last game. Where is he? I'm looking for Beanie. He's not, here he is, Beanie right on top, and he's a right-hander. So they're really going all out here. Okay, Randy now. Facing Jarvis, 2 outs, first and second. And that's 2-6, and he popped him up to second. And Felix makes the catch. And the side is retired. They leave 2 on in the 7th. And he stays with endurance, Jarvis. No runs, the double, the walk, both left on. Here's Hands now, his 7th inning. He's pitched great baseball. Except for, you know, I think for parts of tonight, he's pitched great baseball, I should say. Here's Garrido. Jarvis comes out on deck. We'll see if he can last through the 8th. He's looking a little tired there. 5-7, and he struck him out. Hands looks as strong as ever. Here's Jarvis. One 6, and he struck him out. That's 4 for Hands. And now Felix. That's 2-12, and he pops it up to third base, just foul. Santo, just on the foul territory, makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 for Hands, who is, it's a very tight ball game. The Cubs are going to get 2 innings, 2 shots at this. Don Young is the batter. That is, he's scheduled to hit here. But Young is not coming up. Look at this. Willie Smith is coming in here to hit. Okay, I don't make the decisions. Willie Smith, he'll go to left. Williams will go to right, and Hickman will go to center. And yes, Hickman plays center, and there he is. And don't tell me I don't need to write it down. I can remember it. I have it perfect. I know exactly what it is. Smith in left, and Smith is coming up here. So Young went in the field once. It'll be Hands on deck. It's getting kind of late. There is action in the Cubs bullpen, by the way. And they're well rested. Abernathy, the right-hander, is the go-to guy, I think. And Aguirre, the southpaw. So both clubs with righties and lefties warming, Abernathy and Aguirre. Here's Willie Smith, left-handed hitter, batting left-handed here against Jarvis. And that's 2-7, and he flies it to center for Gonzalez, 1 away. There's going to be a hitter for Hands. There's going to be a hitter for Bill Hands, okay. And they're going to bring in Aguirre, the left-hander, next inning. So it's getting late here in Atlanta, and the Cubs will pinch hit here. With who, I can't tell you of this year. Here's Quayle, switch hitter. batting left against Jarvis now. That's 2-6 right-handed, and that's a drive hit out, and it's going to be in the gap. And Quayle's at third with the triple. Oh my, what a nice surprise. What a nice surprise that is. Quayle standing up at third. A stand-up triple. Lord, did he pound that. He pounded the crap willy out of that. And here's Kessinger. They need at least a frickin' run. You know, Kessinger now with 1 out. He's 1 for 3. Here's the pitch from Jarvis. 5-8, switch hitter batting left. Whoa, it's a fly to center, and Gonzalez has it, 2-away. And it's all up to Glenn here in the top of the 8th. See if they can get anything here. A 1-out triple. Now there's 2 away. Okay, Jarvis now from the stretch eyeing Quayles. 2 outs, and the pitch to Beckerts. That is 5-5 right-handed, and he struck him out. Oh my. And that's the 3rd strikeout for Pat Jarvis, who's been something else today. And there's going to be a new pitcher here, Hank Aguirre. Hank Aguirre. Hands taken out for the pinch hitter, of which Quayles tripled with 1 out and was left on base. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th. It's still 3-0 Braves. Aguirre taking his warm-ups on the mound. It's going to be Gonzalez, Henry, and Rico. Here in the bottom of the 8th, there's Tony now. Tony, Henry, and Rico. Aguirre. That's 3-3 left-handed, and he hit him. Oh my, what a way to start. And that did not look intentional. So Tony on first. Here's Henry now. If you're looking ahead to the top of the 9th, Cubs down by 3. It'll be Williams, Santo, and Banks. No one better on their lineup than to come up. And then Hickman and Hundley. They have a chance of 3 runs. Sure as hell they do. That's the great thing about baseball. Okay, here's Henry now. Aguirre from the stretch. He hit Gonzalez. He's on first, no outs. And that's 5-8 right-handed. Chops it to second. Becker, 230. 6'2", G2 pound, doesn't apply. That's 9-14. That's 14. Beckert a 30. And he throws him out. It's a G3. Let's check what that's going to be there. G2, I'm sorry. And he's forced. So they forced Gonzalez. Beckert, nice play. Stepped on the bag, but he could not go to first. And that's going to bring up Rico now. One out, Henry on first. Aguirre throws 6-6, and it's a base hit up the middle. Henry goes to second, 1-15. -1, 1-14. He'll hold. Very conservative. 3-0 lead, first and second, one out. And here comes Orlando. Orlando 0 for 3, reached on an error. Orlando 7 swings, and there is a base hit. Orlando off Aguirre. Here comes Henry now, and it's a 4-0 ball game. This is not the night for the Cubs. Look at that again. And Leo is coming out. That's it. For Aguirre, they're going to bring the right-hander in. Maybe it was a mistake to even bring in the left-hander. I do make errors from time to time. It's going to be Abernathy coming in, the right-hander. Abernathy coming in from the bullpen. And for Aguirre, he pitched 1/3 of an inning. All right. And he's allowed one already. First and third, one out. Abernathy at the mound now, taking his warm-ups, and he's going to have to face Cletus. It's one out. Okay, Abernathy is ready. Bottom of the 8th. It's 4-0 now. Now here's Cletus. That is 5-8. Right-handed, struck him out. Number 1 for Abernathy. 2 outs for Bob Didier. Didier. 3-11. Lord, it's a base hit to right. Cardi scores. Cepeda goes to second. He'll hold. Two runs in. And it is a 5-0 ball game. Where the hell did I put Jarvis? Where the hell is Jarvis? I can't find him. Hold on. Just when your other pitcher goes AWOL, so a bit unnerving. You don't lose a player. Here he is. The fuck? He went over with the Cubs and was having a chat. The fucking... Okay, here's Garrido now with 2 outs, first and second. 2 in, 5-0. Oh, that did not go through. It's a re-roll. 1-2 walked him. That'll load him up. An excruciating night for the Cubs. In some ways. And here's Jarvis now, bases loaded, 2 outs. He walked 0 for 2. 5-6, right-handed. And there is a drive hit out into the gap. It's going to be extra bases. And it drops in. And Jarvis will have a triple. Everybody else scores. Cepeda home. Didier home. Garrido home. Second triple this inning. Quails had one for the Cubs. A 3-run triple by none other than Pat Jarvis. Lord. It's an 8-0 ball game. It's a washout. And here comes, and he's, DeRocha's coming out. He's not happy. He's taking him out. He's going to bring in Bill Nye with a chunky over 5-point ERA. Abernathy pitched his 1/3. Allowed 2 runs. We can close this out. 3, that'll be 6. 3. Abernathy allows 3. And it's going to be Bill Nye. And that's a real statement to the rest of the night when you're bringing him in. Rich Nye. A juicy 5.11 ERA. Taking his warm-ups. There's going to be a break in the action here. This will be the 3rd pitcher of the inning. Aguirre was relieved with Abernathy, and then Abernathy was no better, including a bases loaded clearing triple by Pat Jarvis, the star of the night, pitching shutout baseball, 3-hit shutout baseball against the Cubs. Okay, Nye is now taking his warm-ups. It's going to be Felix when he's ready. Okay, Nye is ready. Here's Felix. Two down. It's Jarvis on 3rd. 6. And it's grounded to short for Kessinger. And he throws it to Ernie, and the side is out. But 5 runs here in the bottom of the 8th to make it an 8-0 ball game. That's really the long and short of it. Here's Jarvis now. It's all been Pat Jarvis here tonight. and the crowd loves it. A great pitching performance by Jarvis, going for win number 12 tonight. Braves with a 2-game lead can move 2.5 here. St. Louis plays later today. And the Cubs with, it looks like a missed opportunity here to get within 6.5 games of the Pirates. Jarvis is on the mound. And here comes Billy Williams. Williams coming from the dugout here. Just wrestling a little bit with the tar and the other stuff. Okay, Williams is approaching the batter's box. Okay, Williams has stepped inside the batter's box. And Williams is 0 for 3. That was just chopped foul to the right side. And Whitey Lockman, the first base coach, I don't know if he was. I know DeRocher still coached third when he managed. Even back then, that was an old-time thing. In fact, he was manager for the Giants, coaching third when Thompson hit the home run. And Eddie Stanky kept jumping on Leo. And Leo was trying to get to home plate to congratulate Thompson, but he couldn't. Eddie Stanky was just freaking all over him. Go look at the replay on that. A lifetime 121 hitter, 20 career RBIs. Well, he got 3 of them right there. Okay, Williams with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's fouled back and out of play. It was hit well, though. It's 1-2 now to Williams. And it's outside. The count is evened up at 2-2. Leo the Lip, he used to wear women's perfume. He dressed in gangster suits. He used to hang out with mobsters. And that's chopped foul. Count remains 2-2 on Williams. We've sure enjoyed having you here tonight, here on the Strat-O-Matic Sports Network. I think it's been a time well spent, even though it was a pretty, the great thing to watch Jarvis pitching tonight. 2-2 on Williams, and that's just outside. So we're going to go a full count here on Williams. Oh, that's tasty. Oh, that's tasty cannabis. Oh, Lord. And that's fouled back and out of play. Here's the pitch to Williams. 4-3 left-handed, flies it to right X. That's going to be for Henry, a 1-6. That's pretty good there. 5-1, it's F2. He's a 6 out and right. $16, he makes the catch. So Henry catching Williams, who's 0 for 4 tonight. And here's Santo. Now, he did double and left on in the 7th. Cubs have had a couple chances. Popovich was on second. That's about it. Those are the only chances, and they did not come through. Here's Santo now. 1 out, nobody on. Absolutely. We've had a lot of rain here, Rick. A lot of rain here in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm digging it because it's very cozy. It's just one of those things I kind of like. And it's not the kind of rain that is absolutely unwalkable. I mean, I don't have to go out, but it was a bit much last time, just now, but it's lovely. It's just lovely. Here's Jarvis now. The wind up and the pitch to Santo, and that's low. It's a 1-1 count on Ronald. We can't say the Cubs haven't had their chances this season. They've lost some big games. And I guess this would be a big loss. Every loss is a big loss. But hopefully they'll get this out of their system and be able to be on their way. Okay, full count on Santo. Jarvis, the payoff pitch. That's 1-5, and he struck him out. Jarvis with an exemplary performance here. And look at that Cubs dugout. I mean, the Atlanta dugout, all smiles. And here's Ernie now. It's just one of those games. And it's a beautiful night for a game of Strat-O-Matic baseball. By the way, if you're looking ahead to our schedule here for the 1969 replay, next on tap will be the California Angels at the Baltimore Orioles. That's a new series. And that's going to be Messersmith. Yeah, I just knew it without looking. It was his time. And the Prankster is playing, of course. And it's going to be Belanger in the number 2 spot. That'll change by year's end. It's going to be the left-hander, Dave McNally. And I'd like to also say that that's going to be a double header. So the second game, that'll be fine for tomorrow. We have McLaughlin for the Angels and Harden for the Birds. I do have just a programming note. I have a special interview tomorrow at 11 a.m. with political scientist Larry Sabato regarding the 60th anniversary of the JFK assassination. And we're going to be listening to him. He really tells it like it is. I like Sabato. He avoids jargon. He doesn't beat around the bush. He's direct, and he also talks in a very simple style that allows a layperson like me to access. So we're looking forward to that on tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. Now, on Friday, the 17th of November at 10 a.m., it'll be Julian Zelizer, the historian and scholar. And the same topic, we're going to be talking to him about his reflections at this time, the legacy, what it meant then, what it means now. Okay, this is straight from him, giving me a little preview of what he's going to talk about. And then, on the actual anniversary, on November 22nd, 2023 of this year, that'll be the week after, next week. That'll be a week from today. Boy, that sneaks up on you quick. It's going to be my friend, Bijan Bain, who has written about the JFK assassination, studied it. He's working on a screenplay, I believe it or not, about J.D. Tippit, the police officer. And I'm going to talk to him about his reflections, and if he doesn't mind, I'm going to get a few of mine in there too. So that's the programming. Also, one more, 2 weeks from today, on November, and this is all on my landing page, on November 29 at 4 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be doing a didactic lecture type program called Introduction to Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, which is one of the main forms of cognitive therapy. And we'll go over what the therapy approach is, what the theory is, how it's used, and how you might be able to use it to deal with various problems. So that's the schedule here on the Jeffrey Guterman Network, which subsumes the Strat-O-Matic Sports Network. And then once you have one of them playing, you have, right now it's the Strat-O-Matic. Yes, you can, Rick. Of course, they're on YouTube, sir. All those, everything I mention is on YouTube. And what I'm trying to do is do the best I can to provide quality content, because content rules in media. Good ideas, good stories, for whatever purpose. Okay, it's all up to Banks now. And there's the pitch, 1-7 right-handed, and there is a base hit by Banks. How refreshing. So a single. Jarvis is fresh now on the mound and pitching in his third endurance inning. And Jim Hickman is the batter. It's 8-0. And what is his name? Bob Uecker. Sometimes he would just, I love his announcing. It's so funny and it's so good, entertaining and real, because when it's a blowout game, he says it's a blowout. We got about 2 more hours here. You know what I mean? Or an hour and a half here. It's, it's great to say the unspoken. Okay, it's a full count on Banks. Sorry. Hickman now is full count already. And here's the pitch from Jarvis. That's 5-5 right-handed, and he struck him out. It's a shutout for Pat Jarvis, and he finished it beautifully with 2 strikeouts in the 9th, striking out the last batter, Jim Hickman, and he's being congratulated by his fellow Atlanta teammates. The final score is Atlanta 8 and Chicago Cubs nothing. Jarvis with the win, his 12th. 9 innings, 4 hits. He walked 1, struck out 5, and allowed no runs. Truly an exemplary. You have a good evening. Yeah, you have a good evening, sir. Gigi, have a great evening, will you? Jarvis goes all the way with a beautiful shutout. Hands now. He gets the loss. 2nd time now he's missed. And Atlanta, 8 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. Cubs, no runs, 4 hits, 2 errors. And I'm going to propose a star of the game, none other than Pat Jarvis. Sure, honorable mentions for Aaron. Cardi knocked in a run. But the bases loaded triple by Pat Jarvis, who goes on to pitch a shutout. And what a game it was. So Pat Jarvis, hats off to you, sir, for a great performance. And the Braves will move up 2.5 ahead of the Giants, and the Cubs will fall back 7.5 behind the Pirates. I'm going to close out by talking very briefly about whoever I could remember, and if not, I will do a quick search. Whoa! Oh! Whoa! Excuse me. My pen went flying. Here it is. I'm going to zoom in real close here. And first we're going to go with Don Kessinger. This is a bonus encore for those who are interested in bonus content. The first player we're going to talk about and research minimally based on my knowledge right off the top of my head. Kathy, you have a great night. Will be Don Kessinger. Now, Kessinger is alive. I know that for a fact. I don't know what else I could tell you, is that he was their shortstop day in, day out for I don't know how many years, 12, 14, I mean, you go figure it out. He was a great shortstop, and he was their leadoff hitter. Sometimes he was a decent hitter. What the hell? Now, Kessinger is on X, formerly Twitter. He didn't bother to get a verification or anything like that. Now, he's no youngster. Here's his account. And his username is Kessing. Kessing. He has not posted since February. Since February of this year. He did do a repost in May. His profile reads, and this is real. I mean, this is something he created. Husband to Carolyn, dad to two fine men, Keith and Kevin, and pop to Josh, Anna, Gray, and Chase. Old Cub and an Ole Miss Rebel fan trying to live for him, capital H, and that's Jesus. He formerly had something else which mentioned that he was a Christian. He's obviously, it must be, for some people, it must be a very, very good thing to have Jesus in your life. I'm agnostic, so it just, I don't know the answers to these big questions. In any case, that's Kessinger, so we know he's alive. Now, Beckert is dead. Glenn Beckert is a dead man. Because I saw that he died in 2020. He was 80. I'm sorry, 70. I'm sorry, 80. 80, I'm sorry. He married a flight attendant in November '67. You got to wonder, did he meet her during, the flight during their season or something? And he married her, and obviously had all sorts of children with her. But he now belongs to the ages. He was a 4-time All-Star and a Gold Glove winner. And one year he hit like 342. That was like 1971 or 72, maybe 73, I'm not sure. But I remember hearing about that. Let's talk about Billy Williams now. Williams is alive. So these are the people who are living, and the other people are gone. And we may go through with this.